Irie Lyons, whose precepts, his locks on his beard was cut off at the Linstead Hospital. We're not going to let you forget many atrocities. And I hear my brother Jerry talking about 2 Rastafari youths who were detained at the Brownstown police station and that in St. Anne. No, we're not going to let you forget these things, brothers and sisters. And you may have heard reference to my brother. I have mentioned it on the program this morning with Brother Jerry, and I said, let me bring along this letter and read for you that, and Jerry put it in context very well, because this letter is dated the 6th of July, 1939. 1939, brothers and sisters. At that time, it's written by Alexander Bustamante, this letter. It was sent out to the Colonial Secretary by Bustamante. And as Jerry pointed out this morning, at that time, Bustamante was a member of the PNP. He was a member of the People's National Party. The People's National Party was formed somewhere about 1938 or thereabouts, you know. But the Marcus Garvey People's Political Party was formed before that, because that was formed in 1928. So there was a party before that formed by the Honorable Marcus Garvey, came under tremendous persecution, tremendous fight, tremendous battering. So Bustamante, you see his intention, even as a member of the PNP, he sent this letter to the Colonial Secretary. And this is what he says. Sir, serious trouble is brewing at Port Morant in St. Thomas. 1939. So any action you see after that, you know, say, it must building it up. This people, what you call national hero. He says, serious trouble is brewing at Port Morant in St. Thomas, owing to the mischievousness of a man whose name is Howell, leader of this terrible thing that is called Rastafari. Brothers and sisters are reading word for word from a letter written by Buster in 1939, you know, 6th of July. And I want, because I listen to some of the other programs and I listen to some of the callers, and you need to get it right when you're repeating things. I had to be speaking with Sister Minute yesterday to correct when the brother said, talk about Mao Zedong and Marcus Garvey. What I've said many times on the program, it is regard, Mao Zedong did reason with Garvey, but I don't have the evidence that he read the philosophy and opinion. He certainly carried out the race first policy, and he made it clear, Mao Zedong in China, that the Cultural Revolution will bring about the economic revolution, which is similar to what the Honorable Marcus Garvey advocated, that we must be culturally strong, black for black, put black first, other things will follow. But the man who made it clear in his speech and in his writing was Ho Chi Minh in Vietnam, the man who led the Vietnamese people, who defeated the Americans in battle, in war, defeated them and unified Vietnam. That's Ho Chi Minh. He acknowledged the influence that Garvey had on him. So brothers and sisters, if you're going to forget, get your pen and paper and write it down. These things are too important for me to hear people repeating it and getting the facts wrong. There are lots of people I know who, when I come on the program, they take out their atlas, they have their pen and paper, some people have their tape recorder, and so on. Because we do a lot of research to make sure we bring these facts to you. So that when you go on any platform and you repeat it, you can back it up, brothers and sisters. And if you doubt some of the things I say, you can look it up. We're now in the age of technology where bam, 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 and you find it. So please, we must take these things serious when you are going on the battlefield, when you are going to struggle. That Rastafari has been getting this persecution. And this is why these organizations and these agencies don't come out and say anything. All these different associations, doesn't it affect them? Doesn't it bother them that a set of people is perpetually subject to this type of torture and inhuman treatment when there is a constitution that says, inadequate as the constitution is, but it says that we should have certain rights and freedoms. And when these are breached, you don't have these people coming out. Do you have the Jamaica Labour Party coming out and making a statement? No. Do the PNP come out and make a statement? No. It is I and I, the Rastafarians, that have been making all the statements. In other words, this don't bother them. It's all right. It's chicken them trim. Can trim some more. We will want to get rid of them. That's their mentality. Them don't say it, but that's their thinking. So brothers and sisters, let me start the letter again. Because Buster and then put it in inverted commas. When him put the Rastafari, Buster. Him says, serious trouble is brewing at Port Morant in St. Thomas, owing to the mischievousness of a man whose name is Howell, leader of this terrible thing. You see why the police, you don't just look on the little police woman nowhere. She don't know herself as a little black woman. She violate. She gets her orders from letters like these. When them say how somebody who this country has made a national hero. And the day when come and keep telling you, when there will be proper governments in this country and proper leadership where people like Buster name going to come off of the heroes list. And Manley and a couple others want to have. And proper names going to be put on those lists. Brothers and sisters, we're not pretending or going around the bush. We are working towards that. Because how can you have a man now writing to the colonial secretary telling them about this terrible thing? So it's language like these that encourage the police force to do what they do. And they carry over that. Them not only do it to Rastafari, them take it as a habit now to do it to all black Jamaicans, all like black youths. How much of these organizations inquire as to what goes on down at Hunts Bay police station when those youths are in the lockup? They come out wickeder, they come out meaner, they come out more vicious because you have put them in inhuman conditions, brothers and sisters. Hunts Bay, Central, Denham Town, and you go right across Jamaica, Spanish Town, right down to Black River and all these, where lights have to turn on even when it's the brightest sun shining in these cells. If you don't have an electric light, you can't see. Dark dungeon situation. At the start of the program, the GIS mentioned that they're looking to move GP and set it up somewhere else. And listen to the words they choose, that that institution down at Tower Street, they said it was commissioned in 1845. Listen to these words carefully, brothers and sisters. When they say it was commissioned in 1845, in other words, they are saying that in about 1845, it became officially a prison. But brothers and sisters, it existed before that. Listen to the words they use in a commission. I'm going to say it build that time, It existed before that. And it existed as a place where when our brothers and sisters were taken off the ships in the harbor nearby, when they took them off the ships, that is where they used to take our brothers and sisters. And it is down there they used to keep the auctions to sell our brothers and sisters, where the plantation murderers would come and feel up our sisters and so on to determine if they are sexually fit for them to buy them. It's a horrible place. It's not a place to be memorialized. So when they talk about it's commissioned, it was commissioned long time and was being used in a horrible way against black people. So them just carry over now and said, all who get trouble, we're going to lock them up down there. Them place the lick down, brothers and sisters, because it's the blood, the sweat, the toil, the feces of Africans that dab these walls. And that is why you are not hearing all these organizations coming out against such things. You don't hear these organizations come out when youths are killed in custody. If more organizations were serious and they notify their lot of these organizations, all these churches and so, they have evangelical groups abroad and all of that. If they were coming out, then the Jamaican government will be more careful how it treats its own citizens. You wouldn't have so much brutality. A man criticize the prime minister, you're going to lock him up and tell him, say, I have to apologize and all. Look how much people criticize Putin and Russia. Some get picked up, yes. But there's so much criticism, can't pick up all. And then they see it there. Look how much people criticize Xi Jinping in China. But in Jamaica, the police go out, pick up a person, and force him now, and tell him, say, you're wanted for larceny and I'll bring up them whole heap of things. No respect. And you don't hear the commissioner nor the prime minister come out and apologize to the man. They are the head of the government. They have a duty. There are certain cases that you shouldn't wait till lawsuit is filed if you're a serious government for the people. It is taxpayers paying the attorney general. The attorney general is an arm of the government that is against the people. If you don't sue, them don't settle a lawsuit. You shouldn't wait till Nzinga lawyers have to file case for sue, you know. You should be the one on the airwave out there stating that, look, this is horrible, and we are going to make every effort to see how we can correct an injustice. Badly, man, badly. And you, the citizens, run down them people here, and you don't realize that your picnic can be in these holes one day. You don't realize that a man don't realize that your queen can be coming home and she gets scooped up and ill-treated and police a pepper spray a taxi with a baby inside of it. Brothers and sisters, we all heard Nzinga last week. It was a beautiful, really, how she related what happened. So fluid, so lucid, naturally coming out. And of course, we know of all the attempts now to try to distract and derail and take us off our main thing. We expect that, brothers and sisters. We expect that. And nevertheless, but in all of their distractions, you don't see nothing coming out stating that this young lady went before a judge with her dreadlocks, left court with her dreadlocks. After she pleaded not guilty, and there was no officer in court who was present at the incident. So any officer who talk about the incident, it must have been hearsay. Did the judge inquire to find out if any officer he was hearing from was present? Then how could he find her guilty? So, brothers and sisters, the breaches of human rights was so much in this matter. But it's a common thing, you know. It's a common thing for them to treat people that way out there, you know. The reason why this one now is getting the attention, it's because of I&I agitation and because our sacred covenant was violated. Let me read on. I'll start again, because I realize sometimes on these programs you have to repeat one thing 10 times. You have some of us hardies and some of us pretend that you can write it down, brothers and sisters, write it down. Make your notes. That's one beautiful thing. When we had Louis Moiston on the program, I don't know, I'm hoping that somewhere along the line they'll find a space to bring back Louis. because there was so much information being given out. Louis treated the radio like he was in his lecture theater lecturing, took it very serious. So brothers and sisters, I don't want people meet me on the road and keep telling me, wait, did it say again? Your phone can be used as a tape recorder these days. Or people call me, what number did it give out last week, you know? So during the week, you answer 10, 12, 15 calls asking things that we say on the radio. Oh, that take up a lot of time, man. Take up a lot. Hey, Uno national hero, couldn't from one. Serious trouble is brewing at Port Morant in St. Thomas, owing to the mischievousness of a man whose name is Howell, leader of this. This man, I understand, this man, as I understand it, went to the asylum once. You where my site, where I tell the colonial secretary. You understand? You where I tell my own supposedly Jamaican citizen. This is what Buster do, Uno make national hero. So I hope when we decide to go international with this now and point it out abroad, I hope none of them don't say how we are carrying with dirty linen go abroad. I hope none don't say that. Because the Buster do it here, you know. Yes. I hope none don't say that because you have some people here, them don't listen to where you talk unless them realize, say, outside forces. We want the European Union and we now put them out of ground. The European Union cannot have a sign, cannot have their signature on the board at a police station that disrespect Queen Nzinga. The European sign is on that board at 4 parts. When you go there, stop and look at it, brothers and sisters, because the European Union is proud to say that they helped to finance the refurbishing of that station. Well, we are going to make it clear to them that you refurbish a station that does not respect black people and does not respect women. And you must stop putting your money in places like those. Yes. Because then and only then will the government understand how we feel when you put not just Queen Nzinga, any woman at all to sleep on the floor. And this is not just 4 parts, you know, it's many other stations. So I want you all out there now, every police station that used to the European Union sign, you can make it out, read, it's there, I'm proud of it. Every police station, let me know. Let us know, brothers and sisters. You can let I know, let Ras Ivi know, let Brother Ivy know, let Brother Chakula know, and something will be done. Let Brother Heru, Aishaka Musa Menelik know, let Brother Blackstone know, and something will be done, brothers and sisters. Anywhere you use the sign of the European Union, whether at police station, whether at courthouse, whether at holding area, you let us know because we are going to make them know what goes on. And nobody won't feel good for know them and put their money in things where violate the dignity that a sister who went in dreadlocks was cut off from Sheblickle from birth. Her mother and father. And then you have some little people out there talk about when they saw the picture of the mother. Even one Rasta that I know saying about the mother don't look like Rasta. You know, Rasta said that, you know. Yeah. We have been going to Nyabingi in the Lionel Town area for years now. And Black Moses, who is our father, Queen Nzinga father, we call him Black Moses, and his mother, they have been coming to Nyabingi sessions even before Nzinga born. So the Nzinga is 19. Before Nzinga born, the brother and the sister tried Rastafari. And yeah, Rastafari said it's not Rasta, you know. Not for changing them out, man. Not for stop it, man. Don't plant confusion, man. Because these days when you send out things from the on the net, yeah, it don't stop when you don't know weight when reach. You don't know weight when reach. And I see some things that some people send me, man. It's disgraceful coming from Rasta. Let me continue. This man, I understand, went to the asylum once. He subsequently went to prison for 2 years for a sedition which bordered on the line of high treason. Now, Buster build up the enemies against us, you know. Yeah, the things I'm going to asylum already, you know. In other words, a madman that. Madman that. But him don't say who send him to the asylum. Brothers and sisters, it's high time we take life serious, you know. I don't come on this program because I want the program to be popular, you know. I want the program to be serious as we answer these enemies of the people. That Buster is telling them now. Brother Jabuk, when Jabuk went before the judge and said, I will swear by no other name except Jarastafari. This was in 1971. 50 years ago, Jabuk went before the judge downtown there and said, I will take no other oath except in the name of Rastafari. And Jabuk is very articulate. Jabuk explained that this man is the order of Melchizedek, who has no beginning nor no ending, and all of that Jabuk explained to the judge as to why he cannot be bounded by anything except Haile Selassie. You know what the judge did? Brother Donovan,
yes, sir,
who is here with me today, give thanks and blessings. Yes, glad that you could come, my brother.
Yes, sir.
Isaac. You know what the judge did when Jabuk said, I am swear by no other name. You know what the judge did? Yes. What do you think the judge did? No, I'm asking you. What do you think the judge did when Jabuk stand up and said that?
Well, the judge made split.
No, I ask you what you think him did. I ask you what he made split. What you think the judge did now? For sure him power and him authority. What you think a judge in Jamaica would do?
Well, let's step down Pandoras. You know,
yeah, but step down how?
Well, the blank code when him said that you know, acknowledge that.
I know whether I'm acknowledged. It's recorded in the transcript.
Him not acknowledge us.
You know where the judge did? Him send Jabuk go asylum. Him send Jabuk go down a Bellevue.
I the same thing him do to Bedwood.
Him send Jabuk go down a Bellevue for them to ascertain whether Jabuk is a madman or not. And that the judge didn't know. So when you have a Buster man to know a side say a man go to asylum already, Jabuk, all the man say, I stand by my principles. And you send the man go to Bellevue. And until Bellevue certify him all right. I wonder if my people overstand. I wonder if you overstand what's happening. And then now, when the system send you to Bellevue, you have now marauders like Bustamante use that now to tell the colonial secretary, him go Bellevue already, you know, got a asylum already. Then Buster don't stop this, you know. Buster don't stop this. Buster then said he subsequently went to prison for 2 years for a sedition which bordered on the line of high treason. Yes. I sure said the man is a man where, you know, sedition and treason, that means you try to overthrow the state, you know. That's for them things they mean, you know, sedition and treason. Mm-hmm. And we must remember them time then at England. Now England, you know, them time there, you know. Yeah. For treason, you know. And you Buster put in the letter, high treason. You know what high treason mean? Mm-hmm. Them the give life imprisonment for high treason, you know. Them cut off your neck. When I say cut off, I mean put your head on a block
Guillotine.
And a man come with a long rotted sword, very sharp, and chop off your head. And them things the barbaric England go on with, you know. And Buster know that. That's for high treason. You understand what I mean?
So that's a nefarious position Rasta been placing them.
Yes, because that's where Buster want.
Yeah.
Buster want now that all Rasta be seen as high treason. That means that when we kill them off, and nothing.
No threat to the state.
Well, not threat to their relationship with England. That is the aim of that, you know. Here Buster continue now. In St. Thomas, he is endeavoring to put one group against another group. And I would not be surprised if something serious happened to him. And that a riot does not take place. And that a riot does not take place there because he is fomenting serious trouble.
Yeah.
In other words, Bustamante is trying to make the thing as serious as possible, you know. Him continue. I strongly suggest that you have this matter communicated to the Inspector of Police for St. Thomas.
What was it?
No, I didn't know. But I remember, I don't know who was the Inspector of Police for St. Thomas. Because it would be very good for government to receive a report from him, from the inspector, as he is very anxious and concerned about the existing affair.
Yes, sir.
That means the Buster want the inspector now to get an evil report now against Rastafari, you know. You understand?
Dangerous.
Yes, he knows the man anxious and the man very concerned about the existing affair.
Yes, sir.
In closing paragraph now, he said, it seems to me that the only right and the proper place for this man is the asylum. Buster is now recommending that the man, that the only right and proper place for this man, that is how is the asylum. He is a danger to the peace of the community. I think, listen again now. I want the people hear this. I want the people hear this. The Bustamante, for who no national hero, you know. Where they make statue of him putting a chair down on Duke Street, him sit down on chair and all of that. You know. Yes, for who no, where say man a kill people over. Man a shoot people over. Them my brother, you know. Yeah, man. Them my brother. You hear me say now? It seems to me that the only right and proper place for this man is the asylum. He is a danger to the peace of the community. I think he is the greatest danger that exists in this country today. I bust a man to this, I tell the colonial secretary and the representatives here and the representatives in England, you know.
So that was how forceful the power of Rasta was in them time.
Well, it still is, but it show now that this is the attack. Remember them time the Buster 1939, he must still a member of the PNP. You know?
Yeah. The first part of that.
So the people formed in 1928. Good. No, there were other parties before the PNP. Yeah, the Farmers Party, you know.
Yeah.
it seemed to me that the only danger to the peace of the community. I think he's the greatest danger that exists in this. And I believe the police can confirm this. So you say, who am I depend upon now? The police can confirm where he must say. So you say, why the woman do what she do with little Nzinga? It come from, this is the root of it, you know. This is the root of it, you know. That a person with a country called national hero, I tell lion thing upon how you know. Want how he'll be locked up, you know. And sent to the asylum where them can do like them do with bedwood now. Them can fling with the key and thing.
The black wall must crush.
So brothers and sisters, I make sure read it for you all. I hear Brother IAB mention it this morning so that you all can know and understand where the root of all of this coming from and understand why it is now that Rastafari have to stand up. All Rastafari have to stand up now in this matter because we are standing up against a thematic position. A thematic position we're coming from. If I mean before Buster, you know, come down and Buster emphasize it. So when Choral Gardens take place in 1963, brothers and sisters, you must understand the type of man Buster was in 63 because he might come from 1930. The viciousness, the brutality, the wickedness against Rasta. Him already stated here. This now show, this was, when I write this letter, this is the theoretical arm of his thinking. So, call Angola.
Rasta, I don't got people that belong to Africa. Some story about the Guinean heart. Yeah. Oh. Hey, Angola, come on, Africa, go. Angola, this is Angola, me gon' declare from Babylon, not take no chat from Babylon. As a youth corrupt, we get a youth, we don't know wicked up, don't know Babylon. When we walk, I trample down Babylon. Talk and ride down Babylon. Don't know what we say, every day of plans and plans for contracting the man.
That track just come out by Kez Namdi, named Natty Dreadlocks. If you find it for me now, I don't know if you can listen to it.
True religion, you bang down a Lebanon. Lick yourself and a claim Afghanistan. We do no tricks and cans, implement a plan. Then you go pick up Saddam. You see what you're nearer and nearer. But the island mama got now go share ya. Oh, me now get scared. We defend this mirror. Pasha Shaman and Gale, you can't come take from Africa, from me again. I'm not thinking you can't come take from Africa, from me again. No, you can't come take from Africa, from me again. I'm not thinking you can't come take from Africa, from me again. Them no like we have been at the hills. Them want we stay up to pay them bills. When you think so you're safe, you are safe like a cabbage. Them man wanna count out the mills. It's an authentic reggae beat. Let me scab coffee shoes off on my feet. I get 3 feet and touch 2 Bob Marley and the little berry sound sweet. You know can't come take from Africa, from me again. You know think you know can't come take from Africa, from me again. No, you can't come take from Africa, from who no can come take from Africa, from we again. So the thinking on a Angola, come on Africa, Angola, 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 Pashashamalang, Angola, Angola. Me want the fire from Babylon, not take the chat from Babylon. Cause a you corrupt, the ghetto youths, we do no wicked up, you know Babylon. When we walk, I jump down Babylon. I can ride down Babylon. You know what is they have to just cleanse and cleanse and come track in the man. Come take from Africa, from the other. I just say, you know, the vices and throne on a federation.
Yeah, man. Give thanks, give thanks, give thanks. You know, as we put things in context, you know, and I heard Jah Trench, Brother Jah Trench, nice as you fire out your tacky song, so beautiful. And we want our people to remember that rebellion in 1760, which Taki led over there in St. Mary. The Haitian situation was in the news because, as you know, they assassinated the president. And the Haitian Revolution was between 1791 and 1804. And we have said it many times that one of the leaders of that revolution was Bookman, who traveled from Jamaica to Haiti to assist in the liberation of that country. But brothers and sisters, that whole little era, 1760, 1770, 1780, 1790, it looked far. But I want to put it in context for you to understand. Because too many times I am hearing, and I heard it last week and during the talk of, every time them come on radio or television, them meaning the politicians, them meaning members of parliament, them meaning the prime minister and opposition, and the whole heap of them, the church people, them preach every time. We get emancipation. Them give us emancipation. The Queen and all of them give us, England give us emancipation. England give us independence. Get that out of our mind, brothers and sisters. England don't give nothing. No Queen don't give no emancipation. Lie, all them church people who are preaching in a church, come here on programs and this. Oh, we get emancipation, and we must celebrate emancipation. You see, that's what happens when you don't take up and follow. It reaches a stage now. It's them give we. It's them give we. Give what, brothers and sisters? Let me give you an idea. In the Caribbean, the Haitian Revolution, 1791 to 1804, at that time it was St. Dominique, now call it Haiti. But there were other revolutions right here in the Caribbean, other revolutions of brothers and sisters fighting for their freedom, brothers and sisters who were enslaved, and even some of the mulattoes. The mulattoes were people now whose white father breed the black sisters. It was a common thing them did. You know, it's a thing I can't understand though. You treat this the enslavers so inhuman. You know, treat them like them are human and so bad. Yet you find sexual enjoyment in these same people where you treat so inhuman to ravish their vaginas. Oh, disgraceful. So we had a lot of, in some countries them call them Creole, some countries them call them mulattoes, some countries them call them all different kind of names. But these were children now whose father was a white man and their mother was a black woman. So you had many of those people rising up also along with their brothers and sisters who were enslaved. So in St. Vincent in the news the other day where they had the volcano and so on, we have spoken to Ras Ober in St. Vincent. I hear Brother Knife and the other brothers on that his program speaking to sisters in St. Vincent. And there was strong communication, especially during the volcano between us and St. Vincent. Well, in 1795, the Caribs in St. Vincent revolted for their rights. Now remember now, you know, the Caribs, the Tianos, they were here before the white. So in areas where their territories were captured and conquered and brutalized because them captured the people and forced them for work and also rose up in St. Vincent against the white for their freedom. And these Caribs, they had intermarried with freedom was the chant, 1795. Now, and Brother Donovan, so I just find out the map of the Caribbean map now, because quite often we leave out our Caribbean brothers and sisters and we're quick for run Ghana, America, and so on, where we are treated as 10th-class citizens in America. But we prefer that rather than go amongst our own black people in many of these islands. You'll find it there. And while church, let me heal up, Brother Amin. My virgin are here this week with Sister Minette. Yes, speaking about your Rastafari family, that the police use a cutlass to saw off from your description. And use a cutlass because the cutlass was dull. So you use a cutlass now to saw off the locks of the dreadlocks. Yes, it was so moving, like I said. I could hear, well, the tears flowed from you and the tears flowed from Sister Minette, and I guess there are many others listening who felt the same way too. So, the Caribs rose up in St. Vincent. In 1796, there was the uprising in Dominica. I want to find the Caribbean part of it that we can. So here we have it in Haiti, rise up. In St. Vincent, we rise up. In Dominica, now Dominica, and I've said it so many times, but I have to keep saying it. Dominica is different from the Dominican Republic. The Dominican Republic borders with Haiti. In fact, that whole piece of land where the Haiti and Dominican Republic is, you know, was called Hispaniola. Dominican Republic, they speak Spanish. The Haitians speak French. That became a big problem many times. Now, in Dominica, that's where they had the Dread Act. Just remember that. The Dread Act of the 1970s, where the law permitted ordinary citizens to shoot a Rastafarian on sight. Him to have to be flinging a stone off a mango tree or nothing, you know. Once you see him, you can shoot him. That's the level of wickedness that came out of the Caribbean here in Dominica. But in 1796, the people of Dominica rose up against the British rule. Now, also in 1795, there was also a revolt in St. Lucia. And this was inspired by Victor Hughes. And some of you will recall that some of you will recall that 1795 is also in and around that time that the Maroons here in Jamaica also rose up against the British. So now in 1795, 1796, there was also the uprising in St. Lucia. So I am mentioning all of this, brothers and sisters, to show you that coming down to the end of the century, the 1790s, we had Taki, a revolt here in Jamaica. We had the Asian uprising. We had the Maroons rising up here in Jamaica. We had uprisings in St. Vincent, uprisings in Dominica, uprisings in St. Lucia. And also in Grenada, 1795-96. There in Grenada, it was known as the FEDON, the Fedon Rebellion. Fedon was actually a mulatto, and that means mulatto, father white, mother black, and he, in fact, had plantations, and he had enslavers. But then his property became the centerpiece for the revolt, where the brothers and sisters would meet to plan the revolution in Grenada. And so Fedon freed his enslavers, those that were enslaved. You know, and he freed those that were enslaved on his plantation so that they could have a free hand to join in the revolt in Grenada. So I mentioned that, brothers and sisters, as a build-up now. So when the slave trade, or the trading in my brothers and sisters, ended in 1807, it's not their generosity why it ended. They were getting licks left, right, and center in the Caribbean here. Our people in Jamaica, you had a revolt almost every week. When it's not St. Elizabeth, it's Westmoreland. When it's not Westmoreland, it's Hanover. When it's not Hanover, it's Trelawney. When it's not Trelawney, it's St. Mary. When it's not St. Mary, it's Port Antonio. Right across the island. We never accepted this thing. We were rising up. We never had the arms and the ammunition for overthrow them one time like what they did in Haiti. But we certainly was giving them licks left, right, and center. And this is why I said, so therefore now, when they abolish the trade, or them say them abolish it, because we have evidence that even after 1807, there were ships from America, from the Caribbean, who are from Europe, went to Africa, and brought Africans here after 1807. We have evidence of that, brothers and sisters. Even after the enslavement ended in America in 1865, we have evidence of ships that carried our brothers and sisters from Africa to America even after that. So don't be fooled by when you see the books and them tell you say it ended that time. No, on paper. But in reality, there were ships still carrying brothers and sisters. And there is some outstanding ones all in America, long after the trade supposed to have ended. And how we know? Because some of these matters ended up in court. And then we have the court records now, which show where persons have to admit now that they brought brothers and sisters from Africa, even after the trade was supposed to have ended. And I deliberately go back to those era now to show the build-up, so that by the time we reach 1807, when the trade was to end, and by the time we reach emancipation now, 1834, and by 1838, they were getting so much licks, brothers and sisters. So none of them give we no emancipation, and of them give we no freedom. Many whites were now being killed because we were rising up left, right, and center all over the Caribbean. And you all can go and look up some of these revolts. In Grenada, by Fadden, St. Lucia, Victor Hughes, St. Vincent, Haiti, Dominica, Guadeloupe, all these places. I should also point out that a key factor in some of these revolts, key factor, was that especially in those countries where the French were in control. So with the French now, a lot of them, they were Catholics.
Yes.
And they were very brutal, and they tried to push down their Catholicism on us.
Yeah.
And that caused resistance. Oppression always leads to resistance, you know. And that caused resistance by, you know, persons who just never liked the idea of Catholicism ruling them, you know. So that became a serious thing in many of the islands. Plus also at that time now, Britain was trying to come from under Rome.
Yes.
So Britain gave the appearance as if they supported some of these revolts once it was revolting against the French. You understand?
Yes.
So a lot of religious mix-up take place, but no better hearing, no better barring, you know, and so on. So, brothers and sisters, it's not them giving you nothing. It was because them was getting licks. Similarly, in South Africa, apartheid didn't end because of the generosity of Botha and Voster and company. It was when same Angola and other frontline states, MPLA and MPLA in Angola, and the one in Mozambique, Frelimo in Mozambique, and a couple other liberation movements. It was when white people from South Africa start to go back in body bags, when many of them were being killed when they invaded African countries and murdered our people. It was when many of them were going back in body bags that the people of South Africa put pressure on the government to say, let's talk peace. When they was murdering us and there was no firing back, they did never call for peace. They say, kill them off. And in this regard, we must thank the Cubans. Yes. The Cubans played an important role in Southern Africa, especially in Angola, in terms of fighting and assisting us to resist the march of apartheid. So, we have it there, like Keznamdi?
Yeah.
Yes, let us hear it like Keznamdi has just put out a song. And I think this is a reaction to what's going on here now. This song named Natty Dreadlocks.
The teacher said the criminal teacher lost. Them no one else a man in the school. Remove the natty from your head up. Rasta can't learn the golden rule. You man know that your culture. Grow your natty and be proud of your roots. So God Babylon, evil agenda. Watch the Babylon colonial rule. Can't believe no my yard, it's still a war. Seems like the mentality not changing. They not away from him farm, put chains on the bomb. Then they block him up and put him in a jail. Capture the nickel and then they put it up for sale. Over 3,000 Rasta this place. They must have done something wrong. But me can't flash me natty where I come from. Yes, still we carry on. The works of the conquering lion. We said they want the triple natty jail. Them no one else a man in the school. Remove the natty from your head up. Rasta can't learn the golden rule. You man know that your culture.
Ladies,
Proud of you, so
you know that Sizzler song, Will Your White God Save Me from White Man Oppression? Find it for me now.
No wonder so much of the youth them start to bleach out. Look like Jamaican parliament, you need a clean out. Rasta ease out, must have done something
They say no what this.
Marcus was calling.
Which Marcus? You know, you for ask Virgin, man. Don't answer my phone again. You know, you must say which man, no hundreds of Marcus I have. Yeah, but that you must say how much Marcus we know. Chuck Brethren, man. No, we'll call back during break. We have several Marcus is a popular name, Rasta. I can't know which one now. Chuck Brethren, man. A mouthful of lyrics, man. Very good, Keznamdi, very good. Growing at dreadlocks. Keznamdi is the son of Brother Chakula and the brother of the royal family.
Okay.
He's the son also of Goldilocks. And I must point out that there is a petition online at the moment, and we're asking ones and ones to, you can sign it online. Read the petition first, and you will see some of the demands that we're asking as Rastafari. So I'm encouraging you all to sign that petition. You might need to know website to find it on. So I'm hoping that either Sister Karida or Brother Chakula is listening and can give me the website that our listeners can find that petition on so that they can sign the petition. Like I said, Heal Up Ras Amin and Brother Zosa. Amin and Brother Zosa. All right. Now the brothers in St. Anna, bring some of the products that you all have available, and people can get some of these products down at 75 East Street. So if you can't go all the way to St. Anne, which I recommend, sometime you drive with here in Brownstone, and one of these products now is bitters. You need the cooling of the body. That's what the bitters does. Cool down the body. We eat so much sweet things that we need for cool down. So this is the bitters that the brothers have been making. And the ingredients, rice bitters, bitter wood, and other things inside of it. And you can I'm trying to give you the number that you can call. It's so fine. See if you can make it out, brother Dan.
Okay. It says
yes, you want to read that number there?
876 782
782
yes
9925.
see.
All right. So you can call that number. You get Brother Zosa and Brother Amin. 782-9925. So that is the bitters that they have made. They make a lot of products. I have here another one, which is called, it's right on the top here, King Jahil. King Jahil, Nature's Roots. And this one is, that's the general King Jahil's Natural Roots. And it says the Emperor's Choice. This one is the Emperor's Choice. And this is the cocoa cannabis oil.
Yes.
You know, cocoa butter is very, very good for the body.
I would love to get one of that.
Yes. Very good for the body as an oil for rub down the body. So when you mix the cocoa now with the cannabis, that's supposed to be well good.
For pain, joint pain, and all these things.
All right. Very good. Very, very good. So you same number, you can call the brothers and you get your cocoa cannabis oil. So all them sisters, they will love when them finish, take them bath, them love, use them oil to oil on them skin that it look shiny, it look moisturized and feel tender and look beautiful. I'm certain this will cocoa cannabis oil is right here. Then I have this other one here now. This one is the ganja roots drink. Ganja roots drink.
Transparent look.
Yes, yes. It look like water.
Yes.
But that is because them carried through the distillation process and so on. So 782-9925.
Yes.
So be clear on this one here now. 782-9925. You can call the brothers and you get this amongst many products. Now, you see another box I have there now? And let me show this to all the people I'm watching. Now, you can join us on the internet and point out. We're live on the internet here, brothers and sisters. You just type in Miguel Lorne or you type in Best FM and so on, and you can join us on the internet. So let me show you on the internet. This is the ganja roots drink. And brothers and sisters, you can see the bottle very, very clear. Very clear. No impurities, nothing like this. Very, very, very beautifully clear. And this one is the cocoa cannabis oil. Very good. Very good. Cocoa cannabis oil. And the next one now is the bitters. You need the body to cool down. We have Brother Randy, the next virgin of ours. He makes some, him call it influential strains. And he spelled the influential N-F-L-U-E-N-T-I-A-L. Into the box, he puts a warning on it, and he says here, this product contains THC. Hydrocannabinol. Yes. Tetrahydrocannabinol. Yes.
It's an extract from the herb itself.
That's what gives ganja potency. THC. So he says here on the box, this product contains THC. You must drink water after eating it. Do not consume all at once.
Yes.
Because this product is strong. And he makes all sorts of edibles. Now, inside here is some sort of cake.
It's something that you take inside, you know.
It's something you eat,
Yeah,
man.
it's something
You eat like greater cake and cut cake and them things there.
You say it sound good?
Yes. So that to me.
Take out
Now
this- show this.
it is Brother Randy that makes this one. Brother Randy. I have his number somewhere here. So I need to get it set. I don't know if I'll get it for today. But he makes some influential strains here. It's natural with THC products. And I'm warning you, don't eat all at one time, just a little bit. Now, I should point out that some of the brothers and sisters, their products, and I should say Brother Amin and Brother Zosa, they have also made other products that they have apart from what I bring here today. They have other products to rub on the skin and all of that, you know. Made with ganja, but they mix the ganja with, in some instances, coconut oil, in some instances, cocoa butter, in some instances with shea butter, but very innovative, very good, very, very good. And these products are in high demand internationally. Canada, America, Central America, other Caribbean islands, Europe, and so on. The products are in strong demand, very strong demand. Because you have people come here, see the products, buy one and two, and carry it up. And when them carry it up and show them friends, them say, why you never buy more? How we can get some and all of that? I'm saying this because the Jamaica government and its hierarchy, its CLA board, Cannabis Licensing Authority, and the whole of them ministry and all of that, they are the ones sabotaging these products from going to these places because the people are in demand. Recently, because you know, in New Jersey even fly past New York.
Yeah. Because
New Jersey now the doctors are actually prescribing and dispensing ganja
products
for your
remediation,
especially when you have gone through therapy or surgery.
Yes.
The doctors recommend that you take some herbs. It will help to restore your balance. So these places now are longing for the Jamaican herbs in the different forms that the brothers and sisters are now producing.
Yes, sir.
So it is the government who is sabotaging the brothers and sisters from earning a decent living out of this. Government of Jamaica is barring all them things I see a name, plus more with them have and all of that. People are begging, clamoring for them.
Peter, to should see all them thing a long time and say legalize and I will advertise it.
Definitely.
Minister.
So brothers and sisters,
Yes, sir.
I have to give a little part of the program to the brothers who have been on the battlefield, because you know that one of the reasons why them fight ganja is because they want to control it. They want to control the license. They want to do the exporting. All them want to do is use Rasta as the little farmers and them give a little $10 and ray, and them send off. Well, Rasta don't want that. Rasta want to be the one now to send off the ganja. Rasta ain't no middleman.
Want to be the entrepreneur.
We want to be is Rasta go through all the trouble for make them things here? You know how much barrels of water a man carry upon them back.
Empirical wisdom, all of these are results of all of this.
And donkey and all them things if you carry water up the hills to water the herbs. Yeah, man. So why should we know? Just sell it to a middleman who export it and we don't have it. No, those joke over. Those joke over. All right. As we continue. Yes. always like this song here, but done by Sister. Will the white man save? Will the white God save you from white man oppression? Listen to it carefully, because there's no way no white God is gonna save black people from white man oppression.
Is it Jesus or Jesus?
Jesus.
Areas of burn down bandage. Come on, we can. Them and them fans the anything wrong. Who the white God is just a black messiah. Oh my God, that bless. So in that blessings, I am no white God. Don't teach me anything wrong. Who the white God save me from white man oppression? I have no white God. It's just a black messiah. If a white God that bless, so in that bless. I want what is rightful mine. So me now stay new. Your system is designed to be
Florida.
from the Jew, but it will come to
No, I'm in Florida, yeah.
and no, not to the youth. In the process of time, we white God to praise his slavery. The doctrine final one in the black community. The black messiah, you're trying to shield with fantasy. But we have to make you destroy the love with luxury. That's why you have to control. I have no place in Babylon. As I go to make me victim of the unjust action. Oh God, I won't be conquered in this free God. Oh yes, I have to stand on the track. Don't tell me off your white God. Don't teach me anything wrong. Who the one that save me from white man oppress? I am no white God. It's just a black messiah. Oh my God, that bless. So in that bless. Oh, me face contact with anger. Cause that no right. Good all things. Who that find you help must be white. So what about the black? I did the most in life. You want your white supremacy. Watching me and so you text the version of the Bible. Oh, you want it. Remember, I know you if you won't go on for this. Here you iniquity, you have no wisdom or wit. All evil lost people shall seek in the eye. I have no white God. Don't teach me anything wrong. Who the white that save me from white man oppression? I have no white God. It's just a black messiah. If a white God a bless, I am not bless his love. I'm no white God. Don't tell me anything wrong. Who the white God save me from white man oppression? I have no white God. It's just a black messiah. If a white God a bless, so him not bless. Cause when I child is life, almost is with the rod. With one strong pocket, if Almighty Father God is below the second party. Dances love, we got me to the darkness will be, and that there wasn't any ground.
I bet you that police woman will perform that barbarous act. I bet you fear God is a white God. I bet you she go church, go praise a white God. So that is it. Your white God will never teach you to respect and honor and love black people. Yes. That's what I know white God bring divisiveness. Yes, greetings and blessings, brother Doggy. Greetings, my brother. Eyes is I. Blessings, my brother. We're now speaking to brother Doggy, priest Doggy, over there in Florida. Sojourning presently in Florida. They have formed a Rastafari church in Florida. They are making strides there. But very importantly, every year they keep a powerful event over there in Florida. Brother Dougie and their brothers and sisters there. So, Brother Dougie, you want to tell us about it, Priest Dougie? Yeah. Yes. Water, security guard. It look like because everybody in a uniform love abuse Rasta.
Exactly. So no matter which one of them, when you make a move like that, you do act like that. You know, you violate a person's rights in such a mean way. Yeah, you're portraying self-hate, man, and that is something that has been pushed into us through colonization, you know, and that whole slavery system here. So we have to get away from that and start to love ourselves again, man. You first have to love yourself before you can love another.
Yes.
Apart from that, when you look at what she just do, show you that she don't love herself either.
Yes.
Because she don't love herself, she wouldn't do that to her sister.
Right. And not only that, if she love herself, she would see beauty in herself and see beauty and beauty in others that look like her. Yes.
That's right. So yeah, you know, that's just why.
Yeah, man.
This time, brother Miguel, this time again, we always say, you know, it's that time when, you know, we honor that whole Marcus Garvey, that great old prophet.
Yes.
Prophet of old, you know, Marcus Garvey.
Mm-hmm.
First national hero of the island here.
Mm-hmm.
Here in Florida, we like Central hosted Marcus Garvey extravaganza for the last 17 years
Mm-hmm.
and going. And you know, because of the COVID, it has forced us to think other alternative methods to keep going.
Yes.
Last year we did a full virtual presentation. This year we did a combination of virtual and, you know, one in the building as well.
Yeah.
It will be kept at the Jamaica Consulate General Office. You know, they have a big building downtown. They have a big pool that they make a building to and I. So we after the patrons come, you know.
Okay.
As usual, you know, usual format is we have entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
You know, our cultural artists that come and speak about cultural words, cultural songs, and skits. You know, we have the drumming, what they call drumming figures, which is of drummers, you know, which have performed on our event several times. We have brought them back this year again by Buffalo Man. And we'll have our guest speaker this year will be the President General of the UNA, the President General, which is Michael Duncan.
Michael Duncan.
So, Duncan.
Yeah, man. Very
Michael
good.
Duncan. So, yes. That's time we're scheduled. It's taking time out from that to make a presentation at our event. He's the guest speaker. We also have the Honorable Prophet Third Son, Marcus Garvey Jr.'s wife, who also making presentation and even she'll be talking about, you know, the exoneration bill that we are pushing right now, trying to get the name of Marcus Garvey cleared from all that negative false, you know, charges that was placed on him. She's giving an update on that. And our community award, which Michael Duncan is one of them here, and Malu Harris, who is a professor at Miami College, as a matter of fact, of the college. Very busy hard worker in the community, very hard worker, and she has excelled greatly in her space, you know, and she opens up the college to I the community, you know, where we have access to several events at the college and part of events that the college does.
Mm-hmm.
She has done a lot in the community, and we're honoring her for that, you know, for her work as well. So that is the gist of what this year will be.
Mm-hmm.
For the ones that want logging on, send out the information is really information, short thing.
Mm-hmm.
And once you can log on to the live stream and be a part of what
Mm-hmm.
that first.
So it's the 17th, Tuesday, the 17th of August.
Yes, right.
Yeah, yes. At what time? What time? It will
be from 7 to 9.
7 to 9 in the evening. Yes, in the evening. Right. And
Once you see the flyer floating around out there in the social media world, it's all over different sites. So once you see it,
and how, in terms of, though some people might think that it's 100 and odd years now, 1887 until now, with regards to the Honorable Marcus Garvey. But yes, but there is, it's as if so much new things emerging, Brother Dougie, in terms of some of the things that Marcus Garvey said, in terms of some of the things that he himself started and organized and planned. That's it. Yes. Yes. It seemed to be so much years ahead of now.
that's what we call it the honorable prophet. It's not a
Yes.
mythical thing we're doing, we're not applying a mythical type. It's because the man looked at the past events of history.
Yes.
He looked at the present time in which he existed.
Yes.
Predict from that what the future continuing to be was going to be.
Yes.
And he did that and he documented it and sent it on a thing before I and I, message to the people.
Yes.
That work is timely.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
And a lot of it is concepts within his philosophy. It's pertinent to be more than even then.
Yes.
More relevant
Yes.
now than even then.
Yes.
That's what makes it sound that his two sons have been able to keep the legacy alive.
Yes.
Because it's a living legacy. It is not a living
Well, that is him. The two sons from his loins, but there are so many other sons, Dougie. We are his sons. We are his sons. You remember when definitely. Yes. Very high esteem. Yes. Yes.
So we have all done it, but why I bring them up is because they have continued in footsteps in some level. They can't actually shoot. They could
Yes.
never finish shoot.
Yes.
But they did their part in adding to what he had already done.
Very good. Very good.
By being a prophet as a something people exposing not what the philosophy and opinion of God is.
I was told that Garvey Jr. had a son. I don't know if you have ever met him.
I've never met Garvey Jr. So I've met God. I've never met God.
Yes. I heard it mentioned at a function in Jamaica here. And why I think it came from the mouth of Rupert Lewis, that there was a young man in the audience, never look young, man in the audience, and Rupert said that was Garvey Jr.'s son. That is my thinking. Definitely, Rupert really was close to the family right throughout, and on top of that is one of our #1 researcher, and so on.
Because Garvey Jr. spent so much time overseas, I myself am not familiar with that son. Familiar with the family that was on the island.
Yes.
Mother Preston.
Yes.
And her one son, Mother
sister, yes. Mm-hmm.
They have all had just one children coming down that side of the family.
Yes.
And so in Mama Prescott only have one son child.
Yes. Yes.
I grew up with Charlie, we have the Calabar with Charlie and grew up with Charlie. So, as an ex-son, that's how I would think it was. Philosophy and opinion of
Garvey. Strangely enough, Dougie, Jamaica doesn't have a huge Garvey Day, In yes.
Jamaica always like the Garvey.
Yes.
Because up to now, Jamaica don't have a curriculum of Garvey teaching in the schools.
Or the universities.
Yeah. But Julius and I have approached the Minister of Education, we have approached Michael Collins, we have approached several places to try and see how it goes.
Yes.
The first national which so the world has embraced him and feel the value of his works. How come I and I, like the saying of prophet or a good man never honored in his own country. Well, we are seeing that revelation right now. You understand? Because it's with a little black man from St. Dan. People tend to underestimate the little black man from St. Dan.
Plus,
that little black man from St. Dan, which is philosophy that with the world, that leaders all over the world, freedom fighters all over the world, embrace and help to strengthen their position and their struggle.
Yes, yes. But it also could be, Dougie, that Jamaica doesn't want to implement the Honorable Marcus Garvey philosophies and principles. Because if we do implement it, then some of us might want to, like Garvey says, politicians who rob the people's purse must be stoned in the public square. You know what I mean? So they don't want to implement that because so much of them, go, can hardly buy 2 pairs. And when I'm leaving, him can buy 10 cars. And when you ask to give an account, him can't give an account.
Well, you really don't know.
Yes.
People might not like what I'm going to say, but I'm going to say that. So, that is on the Jamaican populace. Because what we do, when these politicians get elected, we act like them is divinely placed in the market, like them is not the normal civil servants.
Yes.
We idolize them and turn them into something else.
Well. Yeah, but you see, they facilitate that, They facilitate that with the handing out of the money and scarce benefits and contracts. That's how they do it, and that's why the people go on towards them that way. Because they know that is where Jamaica does not have democracy. Nobody anywhere it is said also Jamaica does not have democracy. What Jamaica have is a raw system in the world. It is blatant. And the political yes. General Secretary. Yes.
During the last election, when it said that, when they were saying that people buying votes and that people buy votes, so that is the process. That's the Jamaican process. That's the work right now. We're not buying the amount of votes that they are buying.
Yes. Yes.
So it's reality.
Yeah, man. Definitely, and therefore, this is why I feel caught up whenever I hear our judges. I hear the Prime Minister saying it over and over and today. How the type of democracy that we have. We have no democracy. I'm just trying to fool the public and fool those abroad. Yes. Yes. Yes.
What kind of independent?